Oh, me hearties! A very good evening to you. It's just me, Scottie McCLUE, and we are, of course, live on the big one, 9 o'clock Saturday night. Nothing gets past me, and it's time for 1 hour of superb, scintillating information, education, and entertainment from not just one nation, all the nations of the world on Glasgow Essentials on YouTube and on Scottie McCLUE on the TikTok. If you've just joined us, tell us where you're watching from. Very, very important as far as I can see. I tell you, and welcome. There's Amy saying, hey, Scottie and everyone. Yes, indeed. Pathfinder's joined us. Angie has joined us. Marty, Del Boy, there we are. And user 71596, etc., etc., etc. has joined us. Lovely to have you with us. And a big dinky-do, I say to you. There we are. The King has joined us, and Darius. Good evening, all. Scottie and all. Tuxwahi. Dinky-do. Lovely to have you with us. And of course, we might be getting a wee phone call. Hey, Scottie, I'm from Greenock. Billy, that is fantastic. Greenock, stunning. Absolutely stunning. I tell you, you'll see I've done lots of videos. Dinky-do, Lord Scottie of Scotland. How are you doing tonight? Says Scott Mass. Hello, Scottie, says Del Boy, Dinky-do. I loved you on Only Fools and Horses. Brian has joined us, of course, with Richard, and Species Fishing has joined us. That's proper fishing, Fish. There we are. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the YouTube, and of course, onto the TikTok as well. The wonderful Robert Cree has joined us. Dinky-do, Robert. There we are. And Thomas has just got the #1 viewer badge. There we are. Guys, we never asked for anything, but we have put a tiny goal up there if anybody's flush, and you can see it there and see what you think, I say to you. Now, very, very busy news today, of course. But I think we'll not get bogged down with all that. Every other media outlet is talking about it. So I think we'll carry on talking about us and seeing what we think about things. England or Ireland, says Mark. Oh, gosh, choices. There's the wonderful David Taylor from Greenock. Good evening, one and all. Good evening to you, David. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for all your support over the years, I say to you. I'm sure everyone will be watching so much mainstream news. What have we got here? I think you should let me in the live, says Liam. Sue's just joined us as well. Hi, Sue. Lovely to have you with us. Yes, Liam, why don't you call us? There we are. Rather than go on the live, give us a phone and tell us what's to do with you. You're looking very dapper as per, Scottie. Oh, I think just cash tonight. Smart but cash. Casual wear tonight, and a bonnet to match, of course. I tell you. So there we go. Welcome every day. Get sharing and following as soon as you can. Hi, Scott. I'm from Glasgow, says Thomas. Thomas, that is amazing. There we are. John has just joined us. That's John Jon. We like that, I tell you. There's Dino says, how's your day? Dino, my day has been outstanding. The weather was stunning for the first time in about 6 months. So it was rather nice. I got 1 or 2 little things done outside today. I managed to get outside because let's have it straight. You haven't been able to put your nose over the door, as they say. Dinky-do. So that's what's happening there. Now then, who else have we got? I tell you. There we go. Wonderful stuff. Thoughts with everyone affected with these bombings? Oh, absolutely, David. But apparently it's been very, very necessary. So there we are, I tell you. Yes, it's nearly spring, says Amy. There we have it. Lots and lots of love hearts coming my way. Tremendous. Guys, get sharing. Share. Share, 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 share. We're already up to 1,000 hearts. That's beautiful. Right now, 1,000. Now, if anybody's into this, and I know you will be, if everybody watching can tap, tap, tappity, tap, tappity, tappity, tap, we might beat the record of 41,000 likes in an hour. Can we do that? Can we beat it? 41,000 likes? I ask you. Mr. McClue, can you explain the big photo behind you? Yes, these were gifts to me by radio stations. So there we are. The black and white one was Red Rose, the monochrome, and the other one is Lord Reith, the Labrador's graduation. You see, Lord Reith was a great favorite in the radio stations. Lord Reith is my black Labrador you can see in the picture. So that's the story behind them. Professor Numpty Heed from 1773. What were you doing then, Numpty Heed? Enjoying the show, Scottie. Numpty Heed, I'm very glad you've arrived. Are you not normally late in arriving? Scottie, I wonder where Mad Wolfgang is. He was always cheeky, old matey boy. Well, David, he may well give us a call, you know. I tell you, he has some personality. There we go. Susan says hi to Tups. Wahey. Tups gives us a quality call most shows, unless he's otherwise engaged, and we get a bit of chit-chat going as well. Do you think we're quite right not to discuss all the warfare and everything that's happening worldwide? Do you agree with me? Every other news outlet will be talking about that, and we can probably carry on talking about us. Darius says, do you eat tomato soup with a fork? Floatie, I eat all soup with a fork, because usually when I'm having dinner, the wife sits down and says, see, when you've finished your soup, can we talk? So there you go. Hi, Numpty Heed, says Susan. Numpty Heed, I hope we're getting a call from you tonight. Is it the cost? Can we get you a grant? Is depressing the news. I try to avoid it at all costs. David, I don't know about you. I've taken to watching maybe 2 to 3 minutes first thing in the morning because it's so depressing. And the television companies wonder why everybody is starting to question it and turn off, and television's losing people in the droves. And the way television news people are trained, if they go back a good bit, it will be, no, get all the serious, really worrying, negative stuff, more the merrier. But I'm afraid, the worm has turned, and the people are saying, no, I'm not watching that, thank you. I don't want that in my house first thing in the morning. So there you are. Totally agree. Same with the newspapers. Good news doesn't sell. No, but neither does bad news now. That's the thing. It's just not selling. Good evening, Mr. McClue. I mean, when I worked with the newspapers, it was an absolute war, and the circulation was massive. It's gone down by, I would say, about maybe as much as 70, 80%, in newspaper reading these days. Good evening, Mr. McClue from wonderful Derbyshire. God bless everybody much. Respect to you, Mr. McClue. The wonderful YouTube channel. I look forward to your channel every Saturday. Roy Michael Taylor in beautiful Derbyshire. We love being here to serve you, sir. So there you are. And God bless you, I say. There's the wonderful George Sutherland. Well done, Scottie. Thank you, George. You are agreeing with me. We don't need to be talking all the mainstream chat. What we want to do is see how all of us are getting on. And I think that's very, very important. I tell you, if you've just joined us, you're watching Scottie McClue, #Floatie, all uppercase, the first lord of the internet, the world's top broadcaster, the internet icon, and the world's most humble man. So there you have it there. Well, Lewis, I would never give an opinion on another broadcaster like that. So there you have it. Just wouldn't do that. Plus, you don't know what is actually still alive. Case. Hello, Scotty mate. How you doing? Ducky Dowser. Lovely to have you with us. And we are Dinky-Doo. I hope you are as well. That's what it's all about. Hello, Scotty, says Sean. Best wishes from your hometown of Greenock. Love the show. Well, Sean, as you know, we love Greenock. I'm just going to see how much I can get this to go. There we are. That might be a bit better, guys, in terms of quality of the shot. So there we go. Lewis says, do you like him? Well, Lewis, as I say, I would never, ever comment. I first worked with him about, probably best part of 30 years ago. There we go. Absolutely. But as I say, I would never comment on other broadcasters' work, apart from to say if somebody is an outstanding broadcaster. Hello, everyone. Dinky-Doo. I'm listening in bed. Take care. Kareem. I hope you are not unwell and that you're only in bed because you've absolutely done yourself in overplaying your hand with walking the dog or something like that. All right, Scotty, good to see you, says the wonderful Thomas Stevenson. And you, Thomas, always good to see you. Guys, if you're wondering why we're not discussing all the mainstream news tonight, it's because it's so depressing, and I think that we can discuss other things. There we are. Evening, Scotty fellow. Well, Dave, of course, I couldn't talk about a proprietary brand. So there we have it. Fantastic. The term broadcasting comes from to scatter seeds. Well, London Irishman, as you well know, one of my favorite texts is the sower and the seed. And I've been sowing broadcasting seed for 40 odd years now, 42 years professionally. I've been sowing broadcasting seed. Some seed falls on good ground and flourishes and grows. Other falls on stony ground and doesn't do so well. And that's the way I see my viewers and listeners. You know, some of them, the seed takes root and they think, wow, fantastic. I learned that from Scottie McClue on the radio or on the television. Lewis says Rupert Lowe or Nigel Farage. Well, they're both excellent politicians. Scotty, what do you think of folk in America being upset at the BAFTAs? The poor man can't help it. Well, I think somebody, should have thought, if you've got somebody who has Tourette's in the audience, there could be shouting out, So I think that's the thing. And I think you would say, can you make sure there's not a microphone beside that gentleman? Mr. McClure, I had 2 weeks in Inverness and Aviemore. Fantastic time of my life. Visited the Whiskey Centre as well. God bless. Well, Roy Michael, of course, you're right on the Speyside Whiskey Trail up there. Stunning, stunning countryside. And about, I don't know, a mile from Aviemore is Rothiemurchus. And Rothiemurchus is where Lord Reith, who started the BBC, used to holiday with his family as a child. And there's a wee ruined chapel that I have desperately tried to find, and that's the last resting place of Lord Reith of the BBC. His daughter, and I think the Director General, or maybe even a former Director General, took his ashes to Rothiemurchus. So there we have fantastic stuff. Dinky-Doo. Thank you, Sandy. Hello, Sandy. Lovely to have you with us. And Magota, I can't do brands, so I can't actually mention brands. But yes, excellent quality. There we go. Scottie, do you think people are a bit angrier these days and need to lighten up a bit? I think, Sean, people can be easily triggered, and I think there is a push at people that their mental health following COVID and following all the political machinations of really, I would say, the last 30 years, the last 29 years, I think has been a bit too much. See, when I was wee, the Prime Minister, you never ever saw him. There might be the odd picture in the front of the newspaper. If there was some sort of crisis, then the Prime Minister would appear on television just for a few minutes to explain what was happening. But there was none of this sound biting and the news all been about them and what have you. They just went and got on with their jobs. There we go. Now, what do we got here? Hickory dickory, don't spam us, actually, or we'll have to mute you. There we go. So no spamming, I tell you. I want some more funny phone-ins like Mr. Martin, says Lewis. Yes, I think that the mainstream broadcasters should be speaking to Scottie McClue and saying, can you come and do us just a big, massive, funny phone-in and get the public talking? There we go. But of course, the politicians get nervous because they live in their own wee bubble. And they think, oh, we can't have the public talking about this. And you think, what makes you think we'd even consider talking about that? We talked about our own things. I wager you won't know where Dalrymple is. Of course I do. It's Ayrshire. Am I right? I tell you, there we are. Scottie, thank you. You're a break to my ears. You are, sir. Michael, what a lovely thing to say. We're giving you a break from what's going on in the telly and what have you. Vincent says, my favourite Irishman. Well, I'm actually a Scotsman, Vincent. There we are, but who's counting? Greetings from California. I'm new to your show, but I'm already a huge fan. Are you married? Says Lara. Lara, do not be silly. Who would have me? So there you go. I tell you. That's what it's all about. Tinkerbell, thank you for liking all the lives. The wonderful Tinkerbell is liking all the live videos. Guys, get watching, get sharing as much as you possibly can. Lara, phone in from California. The first is put the fist USA caller gets a free Cadillac. Tups is always saying this. We haven't seen his Cadillac. I think he should be telling us more about it. Professor Numpty Head says there's a job going at Numpty Head FM, Scottie, as chief tea maker. Right, Numpty Head. If you apply for that, and I'll reference you, and then I could come and do the phone-in, and you could be the chief tea maker as well as the lovable laddie or lassie, depending, or you could be gender neutral, the lovable gender neutral. We might do that one. Try and get on GB News. Do you know, Liz, it's very interesting. As I say, I'm not going to get drawn into one program apart from the other, but I never take one source as gospel. So I look at all the news channels. And the most exciting tonight, without doubt, was GB News. The rest were repeating and repeating. And I thought, heard all this earlier. Heard this at lunchtime, all that sort of stuff. So there was a bit of repeating, not all of them, but there was quite a lot of repeating going on. But GB News was just a buzz, and it was informative, educational, and entertaining. Hello, Scottie. What do you think of Restore Britain? And, well, I mean, Britain is very, very, very broken at the moment. And the politicians have broken it And, can they fix it? That's what we want to know. Can they fix it? Yes, they can. So I tell you, Lewis, I don't think GB News would go for me, because it would mean a huge, huge audience for them. Do you know what I mean? You'd make a good host, I think. Well, I would hope so. And we could certainly do all that. You see, newscasting is actually my trade. But somebody said, get into light entertainment. Get into light entertainment. That was the buzz at the time. And now, of course, the news is, they're losing their way with the news. So they keep pushing all the same stuff. And if you think, what did we have last week? All the same stuff. Yeah. So that's that. I tell you, but yes, we could certainly do the job. They say, I was a newscaster. You'll see it. If you flick through your TikTok videos and your YouTubes, you'll see McClue reading the news. Fair enough, says Lewis. Well, no, Lewis, but that doesn't mean I couldn't change back, come out of so-called light entertainment, and see what is what. So there you go. Frank, DINKY-DOO, lovely to have you with us. Angela Wellness has joined us and liked the lives. And Ishmael has joined. DINKY-DOO, Ishmael, lovely to have you with us. I say to you, good to see Angela Wellness. That's what we want, I tell you. Now, who else have we got here? Lewis, that's amazing. So you've just joined us tonight for the first time, and you are doing your stuff. We like that, I tell you. Numpty Heed is going to give us a call tonight. Well, we would like to hear from him in case he no longer exists. Angela's liking the lives. Thank you, Angela. Marvelous. Now, let me tell you about the likes. We're sitting at 4,800. If everybody keeps going tap, tap, tappity, tap, tappity, tappity, tap, we might well get ourselves to beat the 41,000 record that we're sitting at. I tell you. I've just sneezed, Scottie. Will you bless me? Professor Numpty Heed, I bless you day in and day out. I bless you. Bless Numpty Heed. I say, can every day please bless Professor Numpty Heed as he sneezed. Did you cover your mouth, Numpty Heed? Because as you know, coughs and sneezes spread diseases. Remember that. Does anybody remember an advert for securing your property from thieves? And it was animated. Is Trimble a Scottish name? I do know Scottish Trimbles. And of course, we knew a very famous Northern Irish Trimble. So there we are. David says, I hope you're okay, Kareem. It sounds a wee night with the feet. Sometimes a wee night with the feet up recharges the batteries. David, you're absolutely right. I was starting to drop off in the armchair after work. And I thought, have you heard of the Lindsay clan? Of course I have. Leesy Lindsay is an old Scottish heir. Leesy Lindsay. There we are. L-E-E-Z-I-E. I don't know what the word means, I tell you. So there we go. Now, who else have we got here? Tinkerbell's liking the lives. Thank you very much. Lindsay Graham, South Carolina. Well, the Graham, of course, is a big Scottish name as well, the Clan Graham. And that's the name of His Grace the Duke of Montrose. Fantastic, I tell you. Dove, not funny. So there we go. Oh, my goodness. The phones. Let's see who this is. Try again. Let's get it again. I can't seem to be seeing you. I can see the call coming in, but I can't seem to be getting it. There we go. Try again, caller. Ah, there we go now. You're live on Scotty's Phone In. Who's that? Hello?
Hello, Scotty, son. How are you?
Hello, sir. Who's that?
I'm John.
John.
My name's John.
John, lovely to hear you on Dinky-Doo.
DINKY-DOO to you.
Dinky-Doo to you, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there he goes. He's gone. John's gone. Loving the show, Scotty. Would like to ask, have you walked around the Greenock, Cut, Cornellies and Loch Dom? Sean, that was my childhood haunt. And we used to go into a little hollow tree on the slope down the road. I don't know if it's there. It had a V in it, and it was a hollow tree, and a wee one could stand in it out the rain. Fantastic. And Loch Tom, that was a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday walk. Chan Chan has done the walk many times. Connolly's Bridge, and I remember going up on my bike, and a pal and I thought it was funny to drive the bridge, and then this guy appeared with a hanky on his head for the midges. He said, "Do you mind? I'm trying to fish." I said, "Oh, sorry." With wee high voices on our bikes. Sorry. I tell you. So yes, I know Loch Tom very well, called after, was it Robert Tom, the water engineer that gave us a clean water supply for Greenock. That marvellous, marvellous, marvellous. Because Greenock, like everywhere else, I mean, ships would be bringing in all sorts of diseases, cholera, typhoid, all that. Lot of trade back and forward with the West Indies, and the fresh food would probably run out. The sailors would have the scurvy and what have you. And of course, the conditions, living in the Vennel and down by the docks and all that sort of stuff, all cleared now. And then fresh water from Loch Tom. Will you be watching the old firm, Scotty? Well, I do watch the old firm. We were trying to say, should we cancel the two main teams? And then what we could do is have Glasgow United, the men's team. Have you noticed there's a lot of new language been introduced by the broadcasters? And they're saying that it's the Scotland men's team that would be going to the World Cup. You know, as if to say, you know, now, if you're going to do all this equality stuff, should you actually have a mixed team? Would that work? So you've got guys and ladies playing in the one team. You know, 6 ladies, 5 guys, 5 ladies, 6 guys. But then again, if you've got a 5 and a 6, you haven't got equality. So if you did have a mixed team, should it be a team of 10 playing a team of 10? Could you have football? I know a lot of clubs have actually got through a game, but you could have football just 10 aside. What do we think? I tell you. Hi, Scotties, is the wonderful Gordon Sterling. Agnes sends her love. She was sectioned last night. Oh, no, my goodness me. Sorry to hear that, Gordon. Did you have to take her in? It must be absolutely heart-rending. I tell you, poor Agnes. I would agree if it was a GB team in the games. No, it's the Scottish. You listen to the so-called broadcasters. They introduce stuff like this and then hope that you'll pick it up. Listen to politicians, right? Phrases like kick the can down the road, ramping up, all that stuff, all throughout the world, politicians. Well, all that other party did was kick the can down the road. You know, that sort of idea. What's happening is we're ramping things up, you see, and none of these things mean anything. These are supposed to be serious politicians, you know, and they come out with sound bites like, Well, we've found that the public aren't too happy with this. And you think, oh, I wonder why. I tell you, time to kick the can down the road. There we have it. A great trick, says Michael. I'm not with you, Michael. Tell us more. When a politician uses fit for purpose, it annoys me, says Tuxway. Well, usually a politician uses fit for purpose for something that's not fit for purpose. Another trick a politician will use is let's be quite clear about this, and then they will obfuscate. I tell you. Somebody said to me one day, they said, the trouble with you is that you procrastinate. I said, well, just you wait. I said to them, now, what have we got here? Hello, I have a question, says Cree. What's your opinion about the war, Iran versus Israel? Well, Cree, I don't think it's time for opinions on that. Apparently, America was driven to the action and given no choice. Things were getting too hot. And that was why America had to step in and do what it did. There we go. I tell you, because they just weren't getting anywhere. They weren't being taken seriously, and that was the problem. But I'm determined to try and get through the night without discussing all of this, because all the other mainstream media are discussing it. And it's rather nice that Scottie McClue does something refreshing, like have a chat with real people. So I'd be far more interested in what the people are thinking of things. I tell you, but when it comes to something like warfare, Iran, Israel, America, I don't think opinion is the way to go on that. I tell you. So there we have it. Fit for purpose tops. Now then, yes, Sean, do you do the walk around Loch Tom yourself up the Whin Hill? What about that one? I can remember a railway station called Upper Greenock. It was on the Princess Pier line that went up, round the back of Lindach Street and up that way, Prospect Hill. And then at the corner, you had Upper Greenock. I think there's still a station in Upper Greenock, isn't there? And the Branston line, is that right? The Weems Bay line. There we have it. But Princess Pier was stunning. As a little one, I can remember walking around it with my grandfather, and it was stunning. It closed in 1959, so I was just a wee one. I had an argument with my grandfather when I was 3. I was still in Rains, I think. He'd taken me out for a walk. He was in his 80s. What's your best argument for God's existence, if you don't mind me asking? Well, we don't need an argument for God's existence. I'll tell you more about that. I'm just going to speak to this caller. You're live at Scotty's Phone. Who's that? Hello.
Hello, Dinky-Doo, Scottie McClue.
Dinky-Doo, Scottie McClue. Who's that? Give me a first name.
John Watson.
John, thank you very much indeed. I just need a first name. So there we go. Guys, if you're coming on, the way to deal with a call to a Scottie McClue phone in is just a first name or what you want to be called. You can phone and say, Scottie, it's Daft Jimmy from Glasgow and all that stuff. But don't give your second name and don't identify yourself. You don't need to. Tup says it's a small hill. What's a small hill, Tups? Tell us more. So back to the best argument for clinical, for God existing. You're live at Scotty's Phone In. Who's that?
Hello, Ken Scottie McClue.
Hello, Dinky-Doo.
Dinky-Doo, son. Dinky-Doo.
Lovely to hear you, son.
What you doing, Scotty?
We're doing a wonderful live show.
Oh, that's brilliant, man.
I'll tell you,
Brilliant.
this
Well done, Scotty, man.
this is what you want. This is the big one. Now then, give us a call, guys, and if people have got something to actually say, that would be marvelous. Although I have to say that call there was a lot better than some of the ones we've had from first timers. Now, what do we got here? Tinkerbell, thank you so much for liking all the lives. Ishmael Dinky-Doo. I tell you, the haunting of Mad John. Absolutely, Numpty. Numpty, is your phone not working? Is this what you're telling us? Tups, I want to know what you mean by it's a small hill. There we are, a small hill. That would be a hillock. You know, if somebody was talking hillocks, then that would be a small hill. Wonderful. We like that. Lots and lots of you joining us. Tell us where you're watching from. Philippines. There's somebody in the Philippines. Dan Swam says, Dinky-Doo always listened to you on Hallam FM years ago. What an outstanding radio station Hallam FM was. I loved that station. When I left Scott FM, straight down to, oh no, we did Newcastle for a while, and then straight down to Yorkshire, to Hallam FM to do their phone in. The whole radio industry just wondered what the new management of Scott FM were playing at. They said, what is going on up there, Scotty? We know it's nothing to do with you. And I said, well, it is to do with me because they're not going ahead with it. Well, come and join us. There we are. I tell you, the Hwangy. Oh, the Hwangy. I said I took Mrs. Tups up the Hwangy. I thought I should elaborate. Yes, indeed. Yes, a small hill. The Hwangy is that not the lumpy one you can see going out the road to Stirlingshire? You're live on Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
Hello, SCOTTIE McCLUE.
Hello. These guys are amazing. There we are. That's the one, Scotty. Absolutely. That's the lumpy bit that sticks out at Dumgoyne. Have I got that? Dinky-Doo always listen to you on Hallam FM. We love it. Back of the old Notre Dame. I would have a chat with you, Scotty. I would like to have a chat with you. Well, Angela, why don't you give us a wee call and have a chat with me? You've got the number. The number's 0141 628 9795. So there we go. Now, Ewan, what we'll do with you, Ewan, because you've obviously got a medical condition, we'll just block you. That's the end of Ewan. Can everybody shout cheerio to poor Ewan? He's in extremis with his personal care. I tell you, here we go here. No, Dumgoyne's different. The Hwangy is at Queensview, just past Dumgoyne. All right. So it's not the sticky out bit you see from the other side. You're live on Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
Hello, SCOTTIE McCLUE.
Hello.
How are you today, sir?
Very well, sir. How are you?
I'm good, man.
Brilliant, man. We love it. Right there we are. Hello, you're live on Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
Is that the SCOTTIE McCLUE phoning?
Scottie McClue phone in.
Are you quite sure about that?
I'll just check. Yes, I've just asked. I asked Professor Numpty.
Sounds like you've got a lot of drunks on the show, Scotty.
One or two drunks. Well, at least you've come on and you're always sober, aren't you?
Aye. Now, the funny thing is, Scotty, you see, is my phone's still working. Well, you'll not believe this.
I'll not believe
I
it.
got my phone 5 years ago, Scotty. And in that 5 years, not one person's ever phoned me.
Is that right?
That's right. I don't tell fibs, Scotty.
No. You have never ever told me a fib. I know that.
Aye. Well, why are you asking if that's right?
No, I just know because my mother taught me to do that. She did it all the time. My mother was a great doubter. So I would tell her a fact. I would tell her a fact and she would go, I can't wait.
No, Scottie, are you listening to me, Scottie?
Of course we're listening to you. Everybody's listening.
Serious point here, right?
Everyone's
So
listening.
you can't have the world's gone mad.
Yes.
Right. No names, I know the drill, right?
Right.
Can you remember in the early 90s, right? The boy that got interviewed on the Wogan show.
Yes.
Claimed to be the son of God.
Yes.
Now, I'll just say no names and there, Terry Wogan straight in there, eh?
Right, straight in. Uncle Tell, we loved him. We loved him. I know exactly who you're talking about. And everybody laughed at him at the time. Now, I've interviewed that man, and he's an absolute top man. And a lot of the stuff he was saying has come to pass.
Now, Scottie, this is an important part. He was also the leader of the Green Party back then.
All right. I didn't know that.
Can you not remember?
No, I didn't remember that. But you see, I don't have a lot of time for all this green stuff because it's so expensive and it's so bad for the environment.
But Scottie, it was big news back then. The Son of God, Green Party.
The Green Party, right? Okay.
Well, listen, we thought the Green Party were mad back then, but these days they're trying to legalise drugs.
I saw that the other day. They were talking about it. But, I mean, obviously that will be qualified. I mean, they're not just across the board going, oh, yes, let's have all that. But it's very interesting because you know what happened the other day?
What happened?
The Green Party got in.
All right. It must have been the drugs.
Here's somebody who wants to legalise caffeine.
Aye.
Now, I think, I'll bet you, I mean, I'm not pointing any fingers, I bet you've taken caffeine in your day.
I've dabbled a few times. But anyway, as I say, Scottie, I would have preferred the Son of God being the leader of the Green Party than what we've got now.
Well, I'll tell you, I honestly think the one you're talking about is much, much bigger than that. And as I say, I had the privilege of interviewing him. And he was A, a very, very nice guy, and B, fascinating. And I would still go for that. And I think what's happening, he was in those days ahead of his time and everybody laughed at him, but they're not laughing now. But do you remember a song they all laughed at Christopher Columbus when he said the world was round?
I was just about to ask you. Back then, did you laugh at him or did you laugh with him?
I wasn't laughing at him at all. See, if somebody comes out with something different, you look at yourself, for instance. Now, you're another man ahead of his time, and you come on as if you're half daft, right? But no, you used to come on as if you're half daft. Now, I don't think you're daft at all, and I'm not the only one because, right, and I'm not going to tell you this because I don't want to swell your head, but people say, Numpty, he's very, very smart. No wonder he's a professor.
Intelligent Numpty.
So there you go. But you're very clever at just taking us all down the road for a walk, you know.
Aye. So there you go.
Tups is saying 1 or 2 drunks in about 20 minutes. I'll be a third. Oh, what's, I mean, I won't pry, but there's nothing wrong, is there?
No, wrong. It's just a fancy. But what is,
why don't you do a McClue and just think, do you know what? I think I'm going to just stop bothering altogether.
The thing is, if you have a hangover, it ruins your day the following day. You know?
Of course it does. I mean, I've loved not having that. See, I spoke to a doctor. Well, he was a friend as well, and I said, are there any benefits at all in alcohol? Are there any is there any nutrition in it? Not a single bit, right? He said, not a single bit. And I said, so what is the purpose? Why do people drink alcohol? It's obviously going way back to when we were tribes and the African Rift Valley would be, you know, making some hooch and knocking it back. And he said, it's a social de-inhibitor. And I thought, well, I really don't think I need a social de-inhibitor.
Well, Scotty, I have to disagree with you there. It's because the Queen Mother, she lived to 101. She had a tipple every day.
Nearly 102.
Aye, and she was on a tipple every day.
And apparently some of her parties were absolute ragers.
Aye, but she liked her gin, and she managed.
Yeah, but there's always going to be somebody, you say, Uncle Jimmy was 104 and he was still smoking his pipe and all this kind of chat. I mean, my dad lit his pipe once and I said, you should give that up, it'll kill you. And he said, well, it took a long time to kill Uncle Ronald. And that was one of his old uncles that lived to 1 million, you know.
Aye. Anyway.
But I was looking at it today. I was watching an old movie today and there was pipe smoking in it. And I thought, what a weird thing to do.
Aye. Now, listen, it's 9:45. There's still 15 minutes for Mad Johnny.
No.
Anyways, nonsense calls and that's where he might get in with a wee call. You never know.
Well, you never know your luck. So, but no, what before you go though, see the person in question you're talking about.
Aye.
Do you agree?
Agree about what?
All the stuff that he says.
About being the Son of God.
That everybody laughed at the time.
I actually seen it live, Scotty. I was on a beer now. I was waiting on the phone and coming. I had a few years to wait, but anyway.
Right, I'm gonna put this to you. Right? There's Blue Owl saying the Queen Mother was a big smoker. I don't think she was. Her husband was. Husband's a huge smoking killed 3 kings. Edward VII, George V, and George VI. Fags.
Did they not name a cigar after that king?
Yes, they did. Absolutely. Because he was a big smoker. He started his own club called the Marlborough Club because he was in one of the big leading London clubs one night and he was about to light a cigar. And they told him in those days they had a no smoking policy. So he just left and started his own club.
There you are. Winston Churchill wouldn't be welcome.
Oh, no, he wouldn't have gone for that. He would have gone for that.
Either.
But listen, what about this one? Who either?
Eh?
Who else did you say?
George Galloway, the cigar smokers, Scotty. I'm on about the cigar smokers. They wouldn't be welcome in a no-smoking policy.
Cigar smokers. I don't know if he's a cigar smoker. But
of course he is.
What I was going to say to you, see this Son of God thing?
Aye.
What if all of us were the Son of God or the son and daughter of God, whatever, if you want to be gender? Because we talk about mankind, don't we?
We don't be crucified this Easter.
Do you think? Now, you see, wait till I tell you. Yes? God made man in his own image.
Well, Scott, you're wrong there.
Well, it wouldn't just be me that's wrong. It means that...
No, listen, Scotty. God recreated man in his own image. Yeah, right.
No.
He had to wipe out the first lot because he wasn't happy with them.
Where did you get that from?
The flood. What was the point of the flood, Scotty?
Well, the flood was to get the animals going.
No, Scotty, it was to cleanse the earth.
Because of your Adam and Eve mob.
Look, didn't get us started or you'll get 2 black eyes.
Your Adam and Eve mob.
Not these talk sense here. The reason for the flood, because God was angry. It was the 2 brothers, Enki and Anki, whatever their names were.
No, Cain and Abel.
No, the other ones. Scotty, you need to read your Bible.
What are you need to read your Bible? What you've got Adam and Eve. Are you talking about Ham and Shem and?
No, I'm talking about Enki was one of them. I can't mind his brother's name.
You're needing to read your Bible. That's what your trouble is.
You need to listen to the Son of God more often.
I'll tell you. What about this one before you go? ABBCCC DDDD says, we're all the sons and daughters of God, whatever your view of God is. So there you go. So it's not just me, numpty.
Anyway. Aye, right, I've calmed down in Scotty. Thank God my windows are shut.
Have you calmed down? Were you shouting? Listen, Susan says, always good to hear from Numpty Heed.
Of course that is.
Yes, Susan 5275. That's the other Susan.
Aye. Anyway, listen, Scotty, I'm going to go because there's still 10 minutes of your nonsense to go and I can't put up with you anymore.
We can't put up anymore. Well, I think we can't put up with you, so that's it. Fair's fair. Fair exchange is no robbery. That's Numpty Heed gone. Roger says David Icke's latest book is just out. And Paul says, loved your shows on TFM back in the day in Middlesbrough. Paul, TFM was a great, great station. And we just loved broadcasting on it. I tell you, Roger says beer was safer to drink in the old days, unlike water in buns, etc. There we are. I don't drink anywhere as much as I used to, says Amy. Only drink once a month, if that. There we are. Amy says, what do you think of him? Well, Amy, I've interviewed him and he was outstanding, I have to tell you. You're live in Scottish Phone In. Who's that?
Scotty.
Oh, Tulsa. Why night? Thank God.
Well, I wasn't going to call, but Numpty Heed threw down the gauntlet.
Don't you ever not call because Numpty Heed threw down the gauntlet.
He's so cool. He's doing it. I'm not blowing smoke. I love Numpty Heed's style. He's quality.
He really is, and very, very clever. I mean, he's been ringing me for 30 odd years.
Well, that's because your phones don't work, Scotty. You should answer them occasionally.
That's right. Good for you. Thank you very much. There we go. If you knew how much had been involved in getting just to this stage.
Oh, goodness, I know. Hey, what you've got in the phone system now is some of the hippity hop. Man, you should wear that cap backwards and get in with the mood, Scotty.
It's absolutely, well, people discover it, but they don't have anything to say. Although I have to say, these guys that were ringing earlier are a massive improvement for first-time callers on just shouting, throwing the phone down, you know.
It's just part of a Scottish Saturday. It's to be expected and to a certain extent to be welcomed. You know, it's just when it becomes too repetitive, it just becomes boring. But
it used to be the big thing on a Friday night was to listen to Scottie McClue and try and get a call in.
Yeah. Well, listen, for once, I wasn't going to phone because I didn't have any chat, but for once, it's actually relevant to what was talked about on this show. You were talking about pipe smoking and the benefits of pipe smoking.
Yes.
Now, no names, no pack drill, but it was I'll just say one of the crew of Apollo 11, which was the very first Apollo mission to actually land on the moon. One of them, the only major health preparation that this crew member made before Apollo 11 was giving up the pipe 3 weeks beforehand. 3 weeks before going to the moon, he thought, you know what, there's no smoking compartment. I better just stop smoking the pipe. And not only that, but he did it. You know, those men were made of steel, Scotty.
Well, my dad smoked the pipe as a young man, as a young paratrooper. He said that, you know, when they freed Holland and Norway and things like that, people brought trays of pipes and tobacco and anything they could get their hands on to say thank you to their liberators. And he smoked the pipe all his life, and latterly he kind of stopped smoking it in the house and used to go out to the greenhouse for a puff of his pipe.
I would never do that. I used to smoke, as you know, but I actually, and so does Mrs. Tubbs to a lesser extent, she's never smoked. But the smell of tobacco in a house when I was a kid was always the sound of good times going on with the adults. And it would be the whole environment of the house changed when, like, my aunts and uncles that were smokers would come into a non-smoking household. And I really miss it. It was because, frankly, Scottie, smokers are better people. Yes, I said it.
Well, I don't know about better people, but I think it was a very social thing. And almost everyone did it because of the First and Second World War, because British cigarettes were incredibly cheap. I mean, now they're fortunes. You would need to, you need to be massively wealthy to be a heavy smoker nowadays. But they were very cheap, and they were sold by weight and not count. So you buy half a pound of fags, get half a pound of fags, and people chucked them about. And the big manufacturers, out to the First World War and what have you. Remember the Lucifer matches, but you never took the third light because the sniper would have seen where you were. Yeah, pack up your troubles and all that stuff. And I had friends who were actually tobacconists and had been for like a couple of 100 years or something. And they were very wealthy, and they had a massive, massive big house. And I was asking one, I said, what was it like when you were wee? And he said, when you were into Granny and Grandpa and then all the brothers and sons and daughters, he said you couldn't see across the room.
He said, you had a tobacconist friend. Was he at the Winter Olympics?
Very good, the tobogganist. I'm a tobogganist. I'll be watching you in the sports.
That's pretty poor.
It's people. No, it's great stuff. But a lot of these people, they actually had a wee machine. They made their own cigarettes, and of course, Glasgow, the centre of the tobacco trade from Virginia, controlled all the tobacco in the world at one point. Now, admitted a fair bit of slavery going on, but nevertheless, you go into the city centre, you look at the side of the art gallery, big house there. You look on Scottie's Glasgow Essentials on Facebook, and you'll see I've done videos on it. And right in the city centre at Royal Exchange Square there, tobacconist's house, tobacco baron. Just absolutely. And that's what Glasgow, and that's why Glasgow these days has kept a whack of its architecture. Whoa, hat and moustache. And it's stunning.
Well, yeah, I'm going to let you go because you've only got 2 minutes left.
No!
I'm going to put the call out for the first caller from the United States of America. Because of that free Cadillac you're going to give to them for the first caller from the States, Scottie.
Here's Adam and Eve on, right? And they're saying, I don't know them from Adam and Eve.
Well, just a very last one. I'm going to throw this in there. Would God have a belly button, Scottie?
Oh, wow. Right, I think this might continue to next week.
Right, okay. I'll let you go and mop things up. Okay, Scottie, take care.
Dinky-Doo. There we are. That's our tops. Why, hey, what an interesting question. Would God have a tummy button? I tell you, keep pushing Numpty Head, says Susan. It's been a great show tonight, Scottie, says the other Susan. So there we are. Professor Numpty Head says he spent 30 years pushing the redial button to get through to Scottie McClue. I tell you. So there we go. Last thing. Thank you for being such a beautiful audience tonight. Good night and God bless. There we go. And our lovely, lovely YouTubers, you have to go as well, I'm afraid. And a big dinky-doo to you. Stick your tongue out and say ta-ta. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.